Hi stitchy friends, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Kenzie from Mud Puppy Stitchery, and I am a cross-stitch designer. I am a bird nerd and a wildlife lover, and I enjoy doing all of the crafty things. So if you're new, welcome. I hope you like what you see, and I hope that you'll continue to follow up with me on my future videos. And for my current subscribers, thank you so very much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. I hope everybody has been well. I have been pretty good this month. Not too many exciting things have happened, so I don't have too much to update you on, but the weather here in Minnesota has been extremely mild and quite warm, which is super unusual for this time of the year. And obviously it's not a good sign for the global climate, but at the same time, I personally do so much better when the sun is out and it's above 50 degrees. So I've definitely been enjoying it. I've got some fun things to show you today, including a finish, several whips, and a couple crochet whips as well, and some fabric haul. So I think we should jump right into it. But before we do, I would like to go into a segment I like to call Wildlife Minute, where I give a little talk on wildlife, biology, or animals, or anything that strikes my fancy. So hopefully you'll learn something new, and it will encourage you to take a deeper dive into the wonders of the natural world. But if you are just interested for the crafty stuff, feel free to hop to this time point. Hi there, Wildlife Kenzie here. So here in the upper Midwest, it is bald eagle nesting season, which means we have some incredible live cams to watch, and we are able to experience eggs being laid, chicks being born, and watching them grow to adult size in only 10 to 12 weeks. So it is truly a very special time of the year. So I always suggest having one of these live cams on in the background while you're going about your day or while you're working, because it is so nice to be able to have that calming atmosphere and to be able to hear the sounds of nature as it's happening. And you'll see some truly incredible things, and you will learn so much. So the main nest cam that I've been keeping an eye on has been the Decorah North nest, which will be, of course, linked down below. And bald eagles in this area will typically lay their eggs in late February, early March, and they will hatch in late March, early April. And so this pair has actually laid 2 eggs, one on February 15th and the other on February 18th. And it usually takes a little over a month until the chicks are ready to be born. So in the next 2.5 weeks or so, we should be seeing some chicks. When you're watching the live cam, you will notice that the male and the female bald eagles will take turns sitting on the eggs and keeping them warm with their body heat. Now, they each have what's called a brood patch on their belly, which is an area where there are no feathers so that they can have skin contact on the eggs to help keep them warm. And you'll also notice in the nest there are softer insulating nest materials like grasses or hay, and because it's Iowa, you'll also have corn husks as well. I'm sure the eagles appreciate the warmer weather that we're having, because I distinctly remember last year in April we had this huge snowstorm in Minnesota, and this was one of the pictures that was captured of either mom or dad still sitting on the eggs making sure that they're warm. So luckily these birds are built for this type of fluctuating weather, and they have the adaptations to help them survive. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on this live cam, and hopefully by next video we should have some chicks hatched. But I hope you really enjoyed today's Wildlife Minute, and let's jump back to the stitching. Welcome back. So the first whip that I want to show you is called Luna Moth 2, and this is by Happy Little Mouse on Etsy. Now this project was started in March of last year, and it is being stitched on an 18 count dark navy fabric. This one has been a little bit more difficult for me to see the holes, and it is a lot of color changes, but I think it's turning out beautifully, so I'm definitely going to keep going. But this time I worked on, or what I worked on completing was filling in the right wing and then fully completing the left wing, except for these little top patches right here where I am missing a color. So I was really happy with the amount of progress that I got done, because this has kind of been languishing for a while. And unfortunately, I had also mixed up one of the symbols on the leaves and had stitched it in the wrong color. And instead of ripping it out, I actually just stitched right over the top of it in the correct color. And I don't think you'd be able to tell unless I hadn't told you. So that was a big relief, because I was really dreading having to unpick the middle color and possibly having to redo all of the leaves. But I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I think the colors really do sing on this navy fabric. And my next assignment will probably be to get the correct color for the top of the wings, so get that filled in, complete the top of the moon, and then get the rest of the moth completely outlined and ready for fill-in. So again, this was Luna Moth 2 from Happy Little Mouse on Etsy. The next whip that I worked on was Prairie Birds from the Prairie Schooler. And this is what it's going to turn out to be. So this was started in August of last year and is being stitched on an 18 count evergreen by Fiber on a Whim fabrics. And this has been so much fun to stitch, and each little block is like a little mini finish. So the one that I completed most recently was this one, the American Goldfinch, and this one went really, really fast. So as you can see, I'm stitching them as a 5 designs on top and 5 designs on bottom for a long skinny finish. So that means I am halfway done. I'm trying to alternate between designs that have a birdhouse and that don't have a birdhouse, just so it's more visually pleasing to the eye. So I think the next block that I will start for this bottom corner down here will either be this one with the house sparrows, oops, right there, or the other one with the wren down here in the red birdhouse. But again, I am really enjoying this project, and I already have an idea stuck in my head for finishing, so I will let you know when I get closer to a finish. This next one is a new start, and it was really hard to put down. So this is called Pileated and Birch by Chickadee Needle Arts on Etsy, and I am going to hold the paper farther back just because the design doesn't really have a cover page, but that will give you a general idea of what it's going to look like. But I love the simplicity of the piece and the large blocks of color on the design. And when I posted my progress on Instagram, I got so many nice comments of people loving the design. So here's my progress so far. But this was started on February 4th of this year and is being stitched on an 18 count dusk by Fiber on a Whim fabrics. I love it. It's been really nice to stitch on because it's really easy, large blocks of color. So I can really just zone out and not have to worry too much about counting. So I think the colors are just really striking on this amazing fabric. And I think my next assignment will be to get the rest of the outline of the body done and then the outline of the birch tree done as well. So then it's going to be super easy to pull this project out and just do some fill-in. So very excited to get back to this and get more progress. And that was Pileated and Birch by Chickadee Needlework on Etsy. I finally have a finish that I'm extremely excited to share with you. So this has been a long time coming and has been in my whip pile for over a year. So this is the Raccoon by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I think it turned out just beautifully. But I really love how the beautiful pink flowers pop against this light blue fabric, which is 18 count Verdigris by My Vintage Needle Arts. And this will be a companion piece to one that I've already finished, which is the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. And the Raccoon will be finished in the exact same way, and they'll be displayed together as a matching pair. I am so pleased with how this turned out, and I cannot wait to get it fully finished. So I do think I'm gonna buy 2 more patterns in the A Year in the Woods series, and I think that will be the Little Brown Bat and the Jackrabbit. But those 2 will definitely be in a different fabric. But anyway, it's so good to finally have a finish on this and feel like I actually accomplished something. I have a crochet finish that I'd like to show you next, and it is this super cute little granny square crochet blanket that will be going to my friend's niece who will be born in June. And this was stitched with only 2 yarns. So this white yarn in the middle, it's got like colorful sprinkles added in, and that is called Twinkle Print. And then the other is a super variegated yarn called Oob from the Lion Brand's ice cream yarns. So I love this color combination together. And you'll notice I had crocheted a blanket a couple videos ago with the same yarn, but for a different friend. So the variegation of the colors and the texture of the Twinkle Print really make it an amazing combination. And because I had finished this one, I needed to start another one, another baby blanket for my other friend who had a baby about a year ago, but I was just learning how to crochet then, and I'm much more confident now. I still think a 1-year-old would enjoy a soft blankie. So I started this one this past week, and I am really happy with how it's turning out. And this is how far I got. So this is being stitched again with only 2 yarns, one being this nice light baby blue yarn, and the other is a super variegated Lion Brand ice cream yarn in Butter Pecan. So I am obsessed with this line of colors, and I cannot wait to buy more and try more color combinations. But I am going to be seeing my friend and her son in about a month at a wedding, so I should be able to get this done in time and hand deliver it to her. The last crochet whip that I worked on was for my favorite colors granny square blanket, which will be large enough to cover a queen size bed. And so this is the most recent block that I finished. And initially I wasn't super sure about combining these colors together, but I think it turned out beautifully. So the only thing I have left to do is to complete the outer border, which is going to be in a speckled dark cream color, and it will be ready to be added to the pile. So once this one is fully complete, I will have 6 out of the 9 blocks, and I am super close to having a full blanket. So I'm actually running out of yarn, so I'm gonna have to make a Joann's run to go pick up another batch. But the large majority of this blanket is being stitched from Lion Brand Heartland yarns, and it is so soft and squishy. So those are my crochet whips and finishes. For purchases, I definitely invested in my future happiness with 4 different colors of Fiber on a Whim fabrics. And I have recently been extremely obsessed with their beautiful fabric because of the super pretty variegation and the range of colors that they have. So the first one is a fat quarter of an 18 count called Affogato. And this is a super popular color, and so I wanted to give it a try. So it's this beautiful, sort of like a yellowed paper with a little bit of bluish and green veining in it. And I have already picked out which chart this will be used for, and it will be used for A Quaker Welcome by Lila's Studio. So I've got no plans to start this right now, but this will be ready for when the time comes. The next one is a fat quarter of 18 count dusk, and I think this is one of my favorite of the bunch. So you'll notice I've already started using it for my pileated and birch project, and it is this beautiful moody dark gray blue color, so the name dusk perfectly fits it. And it's nice because I still have a lot of leftover fabric, so I am very happy to have extra in my stash for another project. And then the next one is another fat quarter of 18 count muted Sedona, and it's this spectacular dark rusty orange, and I just love it. I don't really have an idea of what I'm going to put on this, but I was so curious about this color that I had to pick it up. So super fun, and I'm really glad to add this to the stash. The last fabric I picked up was a fat quarter of 18 count silver fox, which is surprisingly more green than silver, but it is still really, really pretty. I already have this earmarked for a pattern, and it is called American Kestrel by Chickadee Needleworks on Etsy. So I think it's going to look really pretty on this, and it's really going to make these rusty oranges pop on this fabric. But I don't know when I'm going to start this. I will probably wait until I finish the pileated woodpecker piece. But those are the 4 pieces of fabric and what they look like next to each other, and that is all that I have for my haul today. I did want to quick share a cute freebie that I found on the DMC website, and it is called Turquoise Echeveria Succulent. I think the greens and the blues are just so pretty, and it seems like it would be a lot of block stitching, so should be pretty easy. But in order to get the free pattern, you do have to sign up for the DMC newsletter, and then it will get emailed to you. But then, of course, you can always unsubscribe afterwards. But they have quite a few really nice freebies, so definitely check them out. Today I wanted to end with a question. So how do you actually stitch, and do you try any other methods? So I would really love for you to leave me a comment down below on what you do, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I tend to go back and forth between using my Z-frame, where I can do my two-handed stitching, versus just holding on to a hoop and doing like the poke and stab method. So I think there's pros and cons for both, and I am just interested to hear what everybody thinks. And I know some people use the sewing method, and I have tried that, but have never been able to get the hang of that. So let me know. Let me know what you do and if you switch up your stitching methods. All right, stitchy friends, that is all that I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please like the video, please comment down below, and check out my Etsy page, and please follow me at Mud Puppy Stitchery on Instagram to keep an eye on what I'm doing in between videos. So I appreciate you so very much, and I hope to see you in about 3 weeks. So take care, do some bird watching, and stitch all of the things. Bye!